and welcome to my presentation on the overuse of AI. Today, I will be discussing how artificial intelligence, while increasingly powerful, presents some significant challenges. By the end, I hope to leave you with a better understanding of how we can approach AI responsibly. Let's start with the basics. What is AI? AI, or artificial intelligence, refers to machines that can learn, reason, and solve problems. It powers tools we use every day, such as virtual assistants, recommendation algorithms, and even self-driving cars. While these technologies are amazing, the rapid expansion of AI has raised some important questions. AI creates challenges in these three main areas: bias, economic disruption, and accountability. The first one, bias. While AI systems can be biased because they rely on data that reflects human inequalities, Safiya Noble's book, Algorithms of Oppression, highlights how search engines often reinforce harmful stereotypes rather than challenge them. The second point, economic disruption. AI also affects jobs. Studies like Frey and Osborne's The Future of Employment predicts that nearly half of U.S. jobs are at a high risk of automation. While technology creates new opportunities, many workers will need significant retraining. The third point, accountability. Finally, there is the issue of accountability. Nick Bostrom in Superintelligence warns that as AI becomes more powerful, it is unclear who is responsible when something goes wrong, such as self-driving cars causing an accident. Now, let's take a look at what the experts have to say about the challenges of AI and how their insights can help us manage it responsibly. The first one, technological progress is not a tide that lifts all boats equally. Some jobs are directly threatened, while others require significant adaptation. This quote reminds us that while AI can create new opportunities, many workers will lose jobs that AI automates, especially in industries such as manufacturing and retail. However, their research emphasizes that we've seen this before with industrial revolutions. By investing in education and retraining, we can help workers adapt to roles AI cannot easily replace, such as creative or interpersonal jobs. This isn't just an economic necessity, it is also a social necessity. The second quote, ethical AI guidelines, like those proposed by the EU, can serve as global benchmarks. Floridi's work highlights how embedding ethical principles into AI from the start is crucial. Without guidelines, AI could deepen inequalities and harm vulnerable groups. For example, think of a facial recognition system that performs poorly on certain demographics due to its bias during trained data. Floridi urges developers to prioritize fairness and transparency, ensuring that AI respects human dignity and rights. His work shows that ethics is not just a technical issue, it is a cornerstone of responsible AI. The third quote, O'Neill writes, these mathematical models are opaque, their workings invisible to all but the most technically skilled, and they tend to punish the poor and the oppressed in society while giving the powerful and privileged the benefit of the doubt. They can perpetuate inequality and reinforce the status quo under the guise of objectivity. This is a powerful statement about how AI can appear neutral, but often is not. For example, predictive policing algorithms may disproportionately target certain communities because they are trained on biased historical data. Similarly, credit scoring systems can disadvantage low-income individuals because they lack transparency in how decisions are made. O'Neill's work reminds us that AI, while advanced, is still a product of human design. When we don't question its fairness or demand transparency, these systems can harm the very people they claim to help. This underscores the importance of making AI systems more open and understandable, not just to developers, but to the public. The last quote. As AI is borderless, international organizations like UNESCO stress the need for global standards. Their 2021 AI ethics recommendation calls for cooperation between nations to ensure equitable AI deployment. This quote highlights a critical point. AI does not stop at borders. Its impacts, whether good or bad, affect countries worldwide. UNESCO's recommendation emphasizes the need for global collaboration. For example, wealthier countries have the resources to develop and regulate AI, but developing nations often lack the same capabilities. Without international cooperation, this can lead to an unequal benefit and harm those already disadvantaged. UNESCO stresses that by setting global ethical standards, we can ensure AI systems are built and used fairly across nations. This perspective also reminds us that AI regulation is not just a national issue, it is a shared global responsibility. Countries must work together to create guidelines that protect human rights and ensure AI is used for the greater good. Whether through sharing best practices or funding ethical AI research globally, collaboration is essential for equitable AI deployment. Based on my research, there are three key solutions for addressing the overuse of AI. The first one, diverse data practices. We must use diverse data to reduce bias in AI systems. This ensures they reflect a wider range of experiences and viewpoints. Number two, education and retraining. Reskilling workers is critical to help them transition into new jobs created by AI, as Brynjolfsson and McAfee suggest. Number three, stronger governance. Finally, international standards and cooperation are necessary to make sure AI benefits everyone, not just a select few. In conclusion, AI isn't inherently good or bad. It is a tool used by humans. But to make sure it helps rather than harm, we need to invest in ourselves and our systems. This means committing to fairness, ethics, and collaboration. Let's use AI as a force for good and ensure it benefits everyone. Thank you for everyone making it this far and for listening to my presentation.